An $8 billion loss in revenue over 6 years.
Well, that's how much money is at stake in Washington. It's a lot of money. But if a 1% tax cut comes into play, and that's all really tied into last night's election, our Tim Becker is following the money and has this story.
But the citizens have kind of had it with the arrogance of the legislature, if you will.
Senator Don Benton has had his eye on Initiative 1366 for a while now. It was introduced by Tim Eyman, who wants Washington lawmakers to send a constitutional amendment to the ballot calling for a 2/3 majority legislative vote or a public vote to impose any tax increase. Right now, lawmakers only need a simple majority to raise taxes.
It's a hammer, right? It's a hammer to get what the people have already given to themselves 5 times, but the legislature and the courts keep taking away.
With 54% approval, voters have now endorsed that 2/3 rule 6 times in Washington. The previous 5 times, lawmakers changed it back to a simple majority. Initiative 1366 calls for a 1% cut in the sales tax, but only if lawmakers refuse to reinstate that 2/3 vote rule.
Do the right thing, legislature. Put this thing on the ballot and let the voters decide. That reduction in the sales tax only happens if you arrogantly ignore us.
That 1% tax cut adds up to around $8 billion in lost revenue over the next 6 years, most of it in the state's general fund.
I worry that if they don't send it to the voters, there would be some pretty profound consequences there in terms of that 1 cent deduction in sales tax.
It would be pretty bad. It would not be good to take a $1 billion hit, especially under the current situation where the courts have said, oh, you're not putting enough money into education already.
Both Senator Benton and Vancouver businessman Brad Carlson think lawmakers now have little choice but to submit the tax limiting amendment for the 2016 ballot. They have until April 15th to do that. In Vancouver, Tim Becker, KOIN 6 News.